Hi friends, I'm Emily and this is No Expert. Thanks so much for being here. Today, in celebration of my recent leveling up, I'm going to be revisiting an old nemesis. I'm gonna try to make ketchup again. Those of you who have been following this channel for a while might know that I tried once to make ketchup before and it went poorly. I think it's pretty bad. But this time, I have more tomatoes, a hopefully better recipe, and a can-do attitude. Also, I bought the better kind of garlic powder. So, I think we've got a good shot. Let's dive in. To get started, I had to make what I thought was going to be a homemade tomato puree, but it was really more like the world's least interesting gazpacho. To make it, I took 9 tomatoes, trimmed and quartered them, and put them in a blender with a half cup of water. I then passed that mixture through a sieve, and the resulting liquidy, tomatoey goop became what I'm generously calling my puree. I have to admit that when I poured this into the sieve and it didn't go through, I had a real darkness of the soul moment. I had a flashback to my previous ketchup making experience,
Go through,
and considered giving up on the spot, maybe moving to southern France or the moon. But if there's one thing I've learned in the past 2.5 years, it's stick-to-itiveness, and that sometimes kitchen stuff just looks kind of gross and takes a long time. So I soldiered on. It took about 45 minutes, but I shoved all the meat out of those tomatoes until all that was left was seeds and skins. As I gazed at the resulting pink tomato goo, I considered a stiff drink and found myself asking, does ketchup really exist? Is this recipe some sort of trick? Is Heinz just a collective hallucination? But I figured, hell, I've gotten this far, let's keep going and see if it turns into ketchup. So I've saved this just in case this is wrong, because this seems very wet to me, but we're gonna find out together. All right, so I am pouring my goop into the pot. Yum. I think we're going now. All right, I'm turning this on to medium. Yeah. And I will check back in 45 minutes. Okay, so the ketchup has reddened and thickened significantly after 45 minutes of cooking, and now I'm gonna add all my seasonings in. So the seasonings, I took the amounts from the internet, but I'm feeling like it might be a lot of vinegar for this amount of ketchup, so I might like adjust according to taste a little bit. All right, so let's do it. I've got white vinegar. I'm gonna do like half of this, and then I'm gonna taste it and then decide whether or not to put the other half in. I have brown sugar, boink, corn syrup, or if you like a fancy natural ketchup, honey, maple syrup. All right, and then I've got, this is mustard powder, garlic powder, and onion powder.
Feels like a betrayal that the key ingredient in ketchup is mustard powder.
That's not key, it's like 1/8 of a teaspoon.
Key.
Salt, cayenne, clove, and ground cinnamon going in, and then I have some celery seed, which I have ground up a little bit. And then I'm gonna cook this for about 10 minutes all together, and then in theory, it should be ketchup. We'll find out together. The spiced up mixture looks like this and is ready to be blendified. I put my immersion blender in it. All right, so my ketchup is mostly, I guess, possibly done. I'm gonna let it cool down and set a little bit, and in the meantime, I'm gonna make some frozen fries, and then we'll do a taste test. All right, the ketchup is made, and I have to say it looks pretty good. All that's left is to taste it, so I'm gonna taste it. I mean, that's a ketchup, right? Do you want to come in and try one? Tastes like ketchup. I mean, it's tangy, it's sweet.
Tangy, it tastes like garlic.
Yeah, I feel like I could have upped the garlic slightly and maybe like a little down some of the warming spices. But it tastes like ketchup.
Yeah.
I have the gold standard to compare it against. Alright, so color to color, pretty similar. This is definitely a smoother texture, just like eyeballing it. It's a little sweeter. This has a little bit more tang. I actually probably would take the vinegar down, just like even a little more on this. I did like half of what the recipe I found online said, and it's still a little tangier than the classic, I think. Mine's a little sweeter and a little tangier, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about this. I would tell you that if you wanted to make your own ketchup, you could make this and you would have ketchup. It wouldn't be exactly the same as like these guys, but also if you're gonna make your own, do you really want it to be exactly the same?
Right.
Maybe not. So, I mean, yeah,
Ketchup,
a step in the right direction, right? I'm a success now. Boom. Ketchup made, baby. Alright, that is my latest and greatest attempt at making ketchup. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked this video, if you learned something, you laughed a little bit, anything in that range, feel free to slap a thumbs up on it. And hey, while you're down there, you could always subscribe to see more videos like this. Whoa! I'm going to put the ketchup recipe down in the description along with some links where you can sign up for my free monthly newsletter, The Kitchen Dispatch, or buy a t-shirt if you want. It helps feed my tomato purchasing habit. Thanks again. I hope you're good. I'll see you very soon, and I'll catch up with you later. Okay, bye! Bye-bye! It does have kind of like more of a meatloaf smell so far. I mean, it's not great.